So last week I was in Chicago working with my team, and I have a team of really cool creatives that work for me. And I watched an interaction between two of them, a woman named Azalea and a woman named Helen, that I think highlights something very important that actually impacts our field. So I always talk about the questions that people ask me about solution-focused brief therapy, like how do I use solution-focused brief therapy with this client or with that client, or how do I use solution-focused brief therapy in this setting or with that setting. But another question I get all of the time that actually kind of has nothing to do with solution-focused, but is a very common question, it's about courses. And people ask me, do your courses qualify for continuing education credit? And the answer is yes. We have a third-party company that handles our continuing education credits to make sure we're in compliance across the United States. But I also have some people that will tell me, like, I love the sound of your course and I love the sound of this webinar, but I don't need any training, so I'm not going to sign up. And what they're saying is, I don't need any additional continuing education units. So they say, I don't need any training, so I'm not going to sign up. So I want to go back to this conversation between Azalea and Helen. They are incredibly talented creatives. Like, this is stuff that Helen drew by hand on a device where she can transfer her hand drawings into digital content. And she knows how to do this stuff, and she's amazing. And the conversation I watched, so there's an organization that's having like a conference for creatives to help them get better at the creative stuff and drawing and digitizing images and creating graphics online and just all these things. There's this conference that's dedicated to helping creatives get better at the creative process. And Azalea approached Helen and said, hey, I signed up for this conference. Do you want to sign up? And Helen's like, sure. And they both signed up, and they're going to take courses and things at this conference to get better at it, is what they do. But what they didn't do is they didn't ask about continuing education credits, and they didn't ask about how many continuing education credits they need. They just signed up because it's going to help their skill set. Now look, I have a license in this field, so I know getting continuing education credits is important. But we can't let that trump our need to get better at our skill set. One of the reasons Helen and Azalea are so good at what they do is because they constantly are signing up for educational material to make them better at what they do without consideration of some sort of certificate or some sort of continuing education credit. They do it because they love it and they want to be better at it, and they both have become so good that they're at the top of their field and top of the skill set that allows them to do what they do. Now again, I understand in the helping professions we have licenses that mean we have to accrue a certain amount of continuing education credits, but I think sometimes we've allowed that to be the driving force towards getting our training instead of allowing skill and joy for what we do to drive us to get training. And I just want to ask you guys to just remember why you do this in the first place. You didn't get into this field to accrue continuing education credits. You didn't get in this field to collect certificates. You got in this field because you wanted to make a difference in people's lives. You got in this field because you wanted to help people. And you really want to work and you want to be good at this thing you do. So try not to let the accruing of certificates and continuing education credits get in the way of you accruing higher skills and higher confidence. And let's take a lesson from Helen and Azalea. Sign up for things that you think is going to add to your skill set. Worry about the continuing education credits and the certificates secondary to that. But the primary aim should always be to be better at our craft.